we don't know much about Jesus. We only know Jesus from the Bible. Then in 1945, in a place called Nag Hammadi, okay, this is in Egypt, we discovered lots of books with sayings of Jesus that we didn't know existed before. So what's important to understand is that after Jesus died, there were many different sects of Christianity that believed different things. And they argued with each other, and ultimately, it was the Catholic Church who won. Why? Because the Catholic Church is run by the Roman Empire, okay? So one major book that was discovered in 1945 in Nag Hammadi that was lost to us is called the Gospel of Thomas. And what I believe is the Gospel of Thomas records the true teachings of Jesus. Okay? So let's first look at the true teachings of Jesus, and then I'll explain to you why I think this is actually his true teachings. All right, so can you read the highlighted part, okay?
And he said, whoever finds an interpretation of these sayings will not experience death.
Okay, all right, so okay, listen, this already makes sense, right? Because in the universe, death doesn't exist. Because after you die, your soul goes up to the astral plane, to the divine, okay? So your soul can never die. But you have to recognize that you are the divine spark, okay? You first need to recognize that. Once you recognize that, you'll be immortal. But if you don't recognize that, then you fear death, okay?
Jesus said, let him who seeks continue seeking until he finds. When he finds, he will become troubled. When he becomes troubled, he will be astonished, and he will rule over the all.
Okay, so this goes back to the Plato's allegory of the cave, right? Remember, Plato's allegory of the cave is this prisoner who escapes his chains. He goes up into the real world where there's sunlight, and he sees the truth, right? And now he's able to see, whereas everyone else is still chained as prisoners in the cave. And now he rules over all because he knows the truth, whereas everyone else is still imprisoned in darkness. But remember that this is a painful process. When you go out in the light, you're blinded by it. You feel absolute pain. You feel confusion. But over time, if you persist, you will see the truth. Okay? So this is the allegory of the cave. Okay? Keep on going.
Jesus said, if those who lead you say to you, see, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourself, then you will become known, and you will realize that it is you who are the sons of living Father. But if you will not know yourselves, you dwell in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty.
Okay, so this is a really important idea, okay? Go back to the allegory of the cave. When you escape the cave and you see the real world and you come back, it doesn't matter if you tell them what the real world is, okay? It doesn't matter if they believe you. They themselves have to go out and see the real world for themselves, okay? They have to break the chains themselves and then venture out into the light and experience pain and torment for themselves before they recognize the truth, okay? That's what Jesus is saying. People who tell you this stuff, don't listen to them, okay? They can only guide you, but you can't trust them, you can't believe in them. You have to believe in yourself. You have to look into yourself because the truth, the divine spark, is inside of you, okay? So what Jesus is saying is this: organized religion does not work, guys. So there's no way Jesus would say, follow me and you're good. Believe in me and you're good. He would never ever say that because he knows you can't follow someone else. You have to believe in yourself. The divine spark is in you. Okay? Does that make sense? So they are lying to you. When they say the kingdom is in heaven, don't believe them. Okay? Another thing that you will notice is we're all sons of the living Father. You understand? Jesus is not like, I'm the Son of God and you're not. I'm superior to you. They're saying we're all sons of the living Father. Okay? Also, and this is really important, he actually doesn't, throughout the Gospel of Thomas, he actually doesn't refer to the Bible. Okay? He doesn't talk about Adam and Eve. He doesn't talk about Yahweh. He doesn't talk about David. He doesn't talk about Moses. Because for him, it's all fake. Okay? The Bible is fake. What's true is divine spark in you, okay? All right? So again, all this is contradicting modern day Christianity because Jesus was not a Christian, okay? Keep on going. Oh, sorry. Let's keep on going. And again, guys, what you're seeing is this. The similarities between the Gospel of Thomas and Plato's Allegory of the Cave and the Iliad and Zarathustra, his teachings, as well as Nietzsche, okay? You see how all these prophets, they all think alike. They're expressing things differently, and they're talking to a different age, to a different audience, but basically saying the same thing, okay? That's really important. All right, continue reading, please.
Jesus saw infants being suckled. He said to his disciples, "These infants being suckled are like those who enter the kingdom." They said to him, "Shall we then, as children, enter the kingdom?" Jesus said to them, "When you make the two one, and when you make the inside like the outside, and the outside like the inside, and the above like the below, and when you make the male and the female one and the same, so that the male not be male nor the female. And when you fashion eyes in the place of an eye, and a hand in place of a hand, and a foot in place of a foot, and a likeness in place of a likeness, then will you enter the kingdom."
Okay, so again, this is similar to what we've learned before, right? What he's saying is this. We are born into this world, and as we grow older, we believe in the falseness that we see around us. Okay, but once we develop our imagination, and once you recognize that this world that we live in is our hallucination, it is just a projection of our imagination, then we can take control over this world. And then that will allow us to access the divine. Okay? It is through the imagination which allows us to access the divine. And it will allow us to create this world in a new place. We're able to fashion eyes in the place of an eye, a hand in the place of a hand. We're able to be our true selves. Okay? And what we will understand is that we're all connected by the divine. The separation of like male, female, okay? Chinese, American, black, white, it's all made up. It's not true. Once we're able to see reality as it is, we'll all be one and the same. When you make the two one, we make the inside like the outside, and the outside like the inside, and the above like the below. We're all interconnected together, okay? We're all part of the same source. But we have to train ourselves to see the truth from this falsehood. Okay, so again, the idea of Asha and Jush, right? This is Asha, moving towards the interconnectedness of all things, the harmony of all things. The Jush is the division of all things, okay? All right.
His disciples said to him, "Show us a place where you are, since it is necessary for us to seek it." He said to them, "Whoever has ears, let him hear. There is light within the man of light, and he lights up the whole world. If he does not shine, he is darkness."
Okay, so the disciple says to Jesus, "Tell us how to be like you." And Jesus says, "Be yourself. There's a light inside of you, okay? Look for the light and like shine the world." Okay? All right, keep on going.
Jesus said, "I took my place in the midst of the world, and I appeared to them in flesh. I found all of them intoxicated. I found none of them thirsty. And my soul become afflicted for the sons of men, because they are blind in their hearts and do not have sight. For empty they came into the world, and empty too they seek to leave the world. But for the moment they are intoxicated. When they shake off their wine, then they will repent." Jesus said, "If the flesh came into being because of spirit, it is a wonder. But if spirit came into being because of the body, it is a wonder of wonders. Indeed, I am amazed at how this great wealth has made its home in its poverty."
Okay, so he's talking about the materialistic world, okay? We came into this world with nothing. And guess what? When we die, we're gonna go back with nothing, okay? So this pursuit of materialism, this pursuit of wealth, this pursuit of power makes no sense. Why are you here pursuing all this stuff, this gold, this wealth, this money that you can't take with you? it seems as though you're drunk, okay? So this line, if the flesh came into being because of spirit, is a wonder. Okay, so the idea is that it is the consciousness, the mind that creates the material world, the body, right? That makes sense. And what Jesus is saying is this: if you think that the body creates a spirit, you're crazy. It's impossible. It's a wonder of wonders. That's impossible, guys. Why? Because the spirit is full of wealth and the body is impoverished. How is it possible that an impoverished body is able to create so much wealth? Okay? And this makes sense, right? Our mind, our consciousness is so vast, so abundant, but our bodies are so limited. So how is it possible that our smaller brain is able to create a universe of ideas and experiences? Okay? All right? So the idea of intoxicated. We're here and we're just drunk. But we are not thirsty for the truth. We're happy for the way it is, okay? All right, and this idea is mirrored in a poem that we read before by Rumi, right? So you may remember Rumi, the Persian poet. He also says this: the world that we live in is a prison for drunks. Okay, so I'm pretty sure Rumi did not read Jesus' Gospel of Thomas. Okay? But they're able to think the same thoughts because they're all being inspired by the same source. Does that make sense? All right, continue, please.
Jesus said, "The Pharisees and the scribes have taken the keys of knowledge." This is
Gnosis. Gnosis just means knowledge, okay?
And hidden them. They themselves have not entered, nor have they allowed to enter those who wish to. You, however, be as wise as serpents and as innocent as doves.
Okay, so Jesus hates organized religion. Okay, the Pharisees, remember, are Jewish priests, Jewish leaders, and they create a hierarchy of religion where they say to people, "Only I know the truth. Only I have knowledge. So listen to me." And what Jesus is saying is, they themselves are ignorant because you cannot access knowledge through hierarchy, okay? Through oppressing other people. You can only access knowledge by looking into yourself. So you have to become like the serpent and pretend you don't know anything in order to access knowledge yourself, because otherwise, if you are capable of accessing knowledge, then the priest will see it as a threat and they will kill you. All right? And the serpent, remember, it was a serpent who told Eve to eat from the fruit. And so what Jesus is saying is, it is good and natural to seek knowledge, even if it means disobeying God. Okay? That's what we're meant to do here, to seek knowledge, to seek the truth, to seek love. If the priests stop you from doing so, it's because they're evil. All right? Because remember, the true God, the monad, is pure love, pure compassion, pure forgiveness. He can do no wrong. He's perfection. And if you have the desire to seek knowledge and you believe that knowledge makes you a happier, more fulfilled person, then you should seek knowledge, even if God tells you don't do so. Because if that God tells you don't do so, it means he's a false God. Okay? Keep on going.
Jesus said, "Whoever has come to understand the world as found only a corpse, and whoever has found a corpse is superior to the world."
Okay, so this is what's going to get Jesus in trouble, right? He's saying the Roman Empire, this great empire that you've built that ranges across the Mediterranean, it's a corpse. It's dying. It's dead. It's nothing. All right, and once you recognize this, once you refuse to comply, once you refuse to obey, they have no power over you, right? And so that's a threat to power. That's a threat to the Roman Empire.